Good morning and thanks for watching Times News with me, Tabby Gamangala Munifumbo. First, the headlines. Two former attorneys general offer to join the state for free as the battle rages in thin plastics case. UTM acting president Michael Usi avoids tackling party issues on his arrival in Blantyre. And in other news, Malawi Electoral Commission to launch the 2025 elections next month. Now, the news in detail. This morning, two former Attorney Generals Galegeni Gapale and Chigosa Silungwe have offered to join for free the thin plastics case on the side of the state. Ministry of Justice spokesperson Frank Namangale has confirmed the development. Namangale said upon a formal appointment by the current AG, Thabo Chakaka Nyirenda, the two would make up part of the state's team. Wezigosi has a report.
The team wants to forcefully fight a fresh injunction 11 companies obtained to stop Minister of Natural Resources and Climate Change from implementing a ban on thin plastics. Meanwhile, the Attorney General Thabo Chakaka Nyirenda has been urged to withdraw the injunction that the High Court of Malawi in Lilongwe granted to these companies. Speaking at a press briefing on Tuesday in Lilongwe, Civil Society Network on Climate Change coordinator Julius Ngoma says it was sad that these companies keep on going to the court for injunctions.
I wanted to actually be here to express our own voice, to add to the government voice that the ban that was imposed by government, we are actually part and parcel of it. We welcome the ban, and that we don't welcome any idea that those that have perpetrators of pollution, plastic pollution in the country are doing. So that here we are here actually to denounce whatever these plastic manufacturers are doing.
Lilongwe Wildlife Trust Programs Director Dorothy Shema says Malawians are not naive to the dangers of plastic pollution. The judge also ordered that the matter should be referred to the Chief Justice for certification as a constitutional matter.
UTM acting president Michael Usi avoided tackling party issues when he addressed supporters on his arrival in Blantyre from Lilongwe. Usi is in Blantyre for several engagements, and UTM supporters flocked to Gameza roundabout to welcome him. Isaac Salima reports.
Palibe chifukwa chonena kuti tithawe achilima anati anthu azidya katatu, anthu alandira ngongole zimene zija zinanenedwa.
He said that if they do not serve the people well, they know that people will be angry at them. He said that he knows that people are suffering out there and look out to the government to address their challenges. The VP also promised the people that they will get cash and food support to cushion them from hunger.
Ena ngongole alandira kuyambira next week. Ndikufuna ikamakwana August atiuze kuti alandira ndalama ndi angati.
Usi also said that he will not focus on those who speak ill about him, but instead concentrate on saving Malawians. The vice president also told the supporters that he will organize a party meeting soon. President Lazarus Chakwera appointed Usi as the country's vice president, replacing Saulos Chilima, who died together with others during a plane crash in Chikangawa Forest in Nzimba district.
Ofuna kulumpa muphala yo alumpe. Ofuna kulumpa muphala atandi wadi mchiko ulini ndani ndizingophika kuti inu mudye.
The Episcopal Conference of Malawi President Archbishop George Desmond Dambala has called for collaborative efforts to address high levels of poverty, suicide, and environmental degradation haunting Malawi and its neighboring countries. Dambala said this on Tuesday in his homily during the opening mass for the Sub-Region Bishops' Conference of Malawi, Zambia, and Zimbabwe in Lilongwe. Bempero Malimba reports.
Archbishop Dambala observed that the vices continue affecting many people on daily basis. He said the church has a critical role to play in ensuring change and prosperity for all. In an interview after the opening mass, Lilongwe Diocese Auxiliary Bishop Vincent Mwakwawa said the bishops are expected to come up with solutions to the challenges in the three countries.
This conference, Malawians and indeed the Catholic Church in Malawi should expect more collaboration, more consultation, especially in dealing with the challenges that the community as Malawi and the Church is facing. You know, as it is already said, there's unity in strength. Through consultation with various country members, we'll be able to come to a common solution to some problems.
President Lazarus Chakwera said Malawi continues enjoying the support that neighboring countries like Zambia and Zimbabwe provide in time of need.
We felt that neighborly solidarity when we received support during the COVID-19 pandemic that claimed the lives of thousands and ground our economy to a halt. And we have felt that neighborly solidarity this past month as we have been mourning the tragic passing of our late Vice President in a plane crash that claimed the lives of 8 others last month.
The conference, which is held in Salima up to July 19, 2024, has brought together about 30 bishops from Malawi, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. It is aimed at fostering dialogue and strengthening the bonds of cooperation among the three conferences in the region.
The Public Accounts Committee of Parliament has challenged authorities to expedite processes of coming up with regulations for the confiscation fund. This comes as various government ministries and departments are working on regulations for the fund. Pempero Malimba reports.
Earlier this year, Financial Intelligence Authority officials told the Budget and Public Accounts Committee of Parliament that the government was failing to utilize over 1 billion kwacha under the fund as there was a lack of procedures to access the funds. The confiscation fund consists of money collected by various law enforcement agencies, including the Anti-Corruption Bureau, Malawi Police Service, and the Financial Intelligence Authority. FIA spokesperson Masau Tsebere said draft regulations have been submitted to the Ministry of Justice for professional drafting, after which they will be issued. The Ministry of Justice spokesperson Frank Namangale said the Ministry of Finance was well placed to comment on the matter. In his remarks, the Ministry of Finance spokesperson Williams Banda said the public would be communicated once finalization processes have been done. Meanwhile, the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament chairperson Mike Bodoman challenged the authorities to expedite the processes.
Processes like this start, but they don't end up in the period that is supposed to, to be done. So our hope is that all these entities, the Ministry of Finance, the FIA, as well as the Ministry of Justice, we work in a coordinated manner to ensure that the process is speeded up, that we have the regulations in place.
The confiscation fund was established under the Financial Crimes Act of 2017.
Malawi National Examinations Board, MANEB, has launched an investigation to identify what made a map for Geography Paper 1 not to be enclosed with question papers during packaging by an external security printer. The anomaly made students skip the map reading question. More in this report by Patience Lunda.
Currently, a total of 184,978 candidates are sitting this year's MSCE. MANEB spokesperson Angela Kashtigu confirmed the issue, stating that the anomaly has affected all examination centers. Kashtigu added that the skipped question will be excluded during assessment. Commenting on the matter, Civil Society Education Coalition CSEC Executive Director Benedicto Kondowe said the anomaly marks lack of due diligence in planning for the examinations. Kondowe suggested that the paper should be rewritten if the question carried significant marks.
realization of the missing part of the question is a clear indication that there was a lack of due diligence in as far as the ascertaining the full production of examination papers are concerned. And such anomalies could have been avoided if necessary steps were taken.
But a statement released by MANEB on Tuesday, signed by MANEB Executive Director Dorothy Nampoda, indicated that the question was worth 35 marks out of a total of 110 for the paper. Nampoda also mentioned that an investigation has been launched to identify the source of the problem to prevent future issues. On Monday, some MSc candidates at Mangochi Secondary School and Mponda C Community Day Secondary School experienced delays in sitting their physics papers due to MANEB's failure to deliver the examination papers on time.
Construction of the Mzuzu University Library is yet to resume as the government says project cost negotiations are still ongoing. Secretary for Education Mangani Katundu says the project cost was affected by last November's 44% devaluation of the kwacha. He has since said some features also had to be redesigned. Feston Malegezo reports.
Katundu points out that all the processes that have to be done by the Public Procurement and Disposal of Assets Authority have been finalized.
There were some issues between the contractor and the university that they were working on to resolve, some redesigning here and there. As you know, as time goes, as you implement a project, you find that certain areas you start saying, maybe here we should have done it this way. And what that does is that it brings additional costs. And what that does is that you need to renegotiate to say, okay, if you are going to do this and that, there is this additional cost that has to come.
However, the resumption could take a little longer as a source close to the project told Times that the government does not have money. In an interview, China State Construction Contracts Manager Wesley Kalua confirmed that they have not been paid yet their previous certificates. He thus said they will resume work as soon as the payments are made. Commenting on the same, Public Accounts Committee of Parliament Chairperson Mark Borman highlighted that they also observed delays in procurement processes which could have been avoided. Borman suggested that those officials concerned with documents processing and approvals need to be interrogated to, among others, change their attitude. Earlier last year, the construction of the Nzun Library Complex and Auditorium ballooned to about 15 billion kwacha from the initial 7.5 billion kwacha owing to various factors such as high cost of construction materials. The project, which was supposed to be completed in February 2024, slowed down sometime in November 2023.
You're watching the news on Times TV. We'll be back with more after this break.
Best starts from the streets of Africa. This is not just a game. It's a feeling within us. It's expressive. It's a passion. Play for the fun. Play for the thrill. Play responsibly. Proudly African. Bet with the best. Premier Bets.
We are back with the latest lineup from Betway. Betway's front three start strong with cash out and swipe bet. Plus, you can boost your sports bet with Win Boost.
And pick up any penny. Pali Freebie Friday, Smart Pigs, Build Our Bait, Omwe Antamanga Gataka Fulu.
They've also got their back to Odds Boost and Betway Stars. You always get way more with Betway.
Ando, Yamakocha.
Welcome back. Still in the news, Blantyre Water Board says it continues registering losses as it sells water at a cost less than what it takes to produce. BWB Chief Executive Officer Robert Hanjahanja was speaking at Parliament, where the board was summoned by the Budget and Finance Committee of Parliament to explain its persistent losses. An audited financial report for the year ended March 2023 indicated that BWB posted a loss of 23 billion kwacha. Taonga Sabola reports.
Speaking when Blantyre Water Board management appeared before the Budget and Finance Committee of Parliament, Blantyre Water Board Chief Executive Officer Robert Hanjahanja said there are a number of factors that have resulted in the water utility to be posting losses.
We currently charge water, like the tomato example you've given, below what it costs us to produce water. Therefore, every single month we operate at a loss, and that is what contributes significantly to our performance. But with a few adjustments, not too much, perhaps 10% this year and another 10% next year, we should be able to start breaking even and be able to deliver without, having to look for other resources for simple operations. In saying that, let me say that we would have broken even this year, but the devaluation that we had as a nation changed our assumptions significantly.
Budget and Finance Committee of Parliament Vice Chairperson Ishmael Nkumba said it is important that state-owned enterprises should be posting profits to ease pressure on the government's fiscus.
We are happy with the strides they have taken. They have a few proposed projects. They are intending to build a dam in Mulanje, which will allow them to be able to supply water to a lot of customers. At the moment, they have about 80,000 customers, but with that project, they'll be able to reach up to 160,000 customers. They have also managed to obtain $145 million grant from one of the donors. So we're happy with their performance, and also they have explained clearly that the water is not very expensive, and we have understood that it really is quite affordable.
According to Hanja Hanja, Blantyre Water Board has devised a turnaround strategy which will see the company returning to profitability by the year 2027.
With only 427 days to the Malawi's tripartite election, the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC chairperson Annabel Mtalimanja has announced the election's calendar. Addressing journalists in Lilongwe, Mtalimanja announced that the commission will launch the 2025 electoral process on August 2nd this year under the theme Promoting Democratic Leadership Through Your Vote. Kathy Maulidi has the story.
Addressing journalists in Lilongwe, MEC chairperson Annabel Mtalimanja said the Malawi Electoral Commission has set 2nd August this year as the day it will launch the 2025 elections. She said the event will take place in Lilongwe. Regarding voter registration, MEC chairperson said there will be a fresh voter registration because MEC has migrated from using old election devices to new election management devices, EMDs. Next year's election, according to Mtalimanja, will have 229 constituencies from 193 following the demarcation of constituencies that was approved by Parliament. And in terms of wards, the next year's election will have 509 wards from 462 wards that the country had in the 2019 elections.
MEC is launching the theme for the 2025 general election, which is promoting democratic leadership through your vote. That is the first issue. And then we're also highlighting that we're going to commence the registration for the general election on 16th September 2024.
During the press briefing, the MEC chairperson also announced that those with expired IDs will be allowed to register to vote, while those with no IDs won't be allowed to register to vote. But the opposition Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, through its Secretary General, Clement Mwale, is against this position. Mwale explains the reasons behind the objection.
That is restricting the rights of Malawians to vote. If I can refresh your mind, any law that is against the constitutional law, it is not for it. So, with that in mind, that is why we are saying that the registration, they should allow any ID that one can present before next.
However, the Malawi Congress Party, MCP, through its publicity secretary, Ezekiel Chingoma, has said the party has no issues with the current arrangement as it aligns with the electoral laws. Ngoma, however, said it is important for the National Registration Bureau, NRB, to ensure that all eligible citizens are registered throughout Malawi.
The Shaping Our Future organization, founded by Malawi's First Lady Monica Chakwera, has donated sewing machines and briquette-making equipment to 2 women's groups in Lilongwe. The handover ceremony took place on Tuesday. According to the organization's manager, Loma Mdema, the initiative aims at promoting economic independence among women to enable them support their families. Esna Tembo compiled this report, read by Brenda Kayo.
Dema said they empower women so that they can be economic independent and encourage their children to pursue education.
As the foundation, we provide scholarships to needy students, but we know that the needs are many. Apart from school fees, the uniform and examination fees that we pay, we know that they also need transport as well as the groceries. So once we empower women economically, these women will support their children with these other needs.
One of the beneficiaries, Yasim Shonde, expressed her gratitude for the donation and praised the First Lady's efforts. Lilongwe District Council Monitoring Officer Blessings Makilinga urged organizations to conduct needs assessment in communities before providing assistance.
So the central policy gives community members to choose what they want, because the council cannot choose what they want. Otherwise, if we choose what they want, it might not be used. So we spend a lot of resources on something that cannot be used. So when going to the communities, asking what they want to do, it means it's community or people-centered development. This is what we're encouraging.
The donation is part of SOF's ongoing efforts to promote women economic empowerment and community development in Malawi.
Well, that's the news for now, but before we go, the headlines again. 2 former attorneys general offer to join the state for free as the battle rages in thin plastics case. UTM acting president Michael Usi avoids tackling party issues on his arrival in Blantyre. And in other news, Malawi Electoral Commission to launch the 2025 elections next month. You can get more on these and other stories by visiting www.times.mw, liking and following our Facebook page Times 360 Malawi, X at Times 360 Malawi, and by subscribing to 1895 by dialing star 1895 hash. I'm Tabby Kamangala Munifumbo. Goodbye.
Boost, Betway's latest crash game. Play it and blast off with wins that can boost as high as 300%. Exclusive to Betway.
Times Courier yabwelanso yodalirika yokafikitsa katundu mu nthawi yake komanso pa mtengo ofewa.
Tumizani katundu wanu ndi Times Courier kudzera kuma ofesi a The Times Group ku Blantyre, Zomba, Lilongwe, Mzuzu komanso Sex Stationery and General Dealers ku Mangochi kuyambira nthawi ya 8 koloko mmawa mpaka 5 koloko madzulo tsiku lililonse.
Magalimoto a Times Courier akuyenda motere: yoyamba Blantyre kupita ku Lilongwe, yachiwiri Lilongwe kupita ku Mzuzu, yachitatu Blantyre kupita ku Zomba mpaka Mangochi. Tiyankhuleni lero.
Times Courier, yosunga nthawi zonse.
The Times Group inakhazikitsa nthambi ya customer experience ndi cholinga choti makasitomala azilanda